Hello everyone, it is Jebro. I am here and we have the Necromancer Elite Specialization for End of Dragons trailer right here. Let's have a look and check it out.
Some necromancers have always been separated from corruption by a thin edge, absorbing life energy to fuel their magic. But a Harbinger's methods are even more volatile. These skilled alchemists have developed elixirs to inflict blight on themselves, converting their own pain into power. In Harbinger Shroud, they gain devastating abilities while suffering from blight. A Harbinger makes no clean kills, wielding a pistol to devastate their enemies with noxious, corrosive bullets.
Interesting. So that is the Necromancer pistol. It is what we thought it would be. Amazing. Good stuff. I'm excited. Shall I tell you why? Shall I tell you why I'm excited? It's because, and we're going to keep watching this in the background as I talk about it. It's all because pretty much, let's actually play this back. Oh, we do normal speed. Okay, so the real reason is because apparently the trailer is gonna stall. And again, this is not edited or anything. The last video was edited heavily. And if you haven't seen that, that is the Mesmer Virtuoso build. And also just, for fuck's sake. I can hear these fucking cunts upstairs.
Some necromancers have always been separated from corruption by a thin edge, absorbing life energy to fuel their magic. But a Harbinger's methods are even more volatile. These skilled alchemists have developed elixirs to inflict blight on themselves, converting their own pain into power. In Harbinger Shroud, they gain devastating abilities while suffering from blight. A Harbinger makes no clean kills, wielding a pistol to devastate their enemies with noxious, corrosive bullets.
Oh yes, there it is. There it is. The Necromancer Elite Specialization for End of Dragons. It's gonna be, I was gonna say Dragons, and it's gonna be the Harbinger, which is actually, funnily enough, a trait for the Scourge. I'm going to talk about that momentarily, but the video is going to just repeat while we're kind of talking about this. I just released a video today as well on the Virtuoso, heavily edited. I haven't edited a video like that for a long time, so go and check it out. It's got all of the skills and abilities and mechanics, not the traits yet because we haven't found out that, and we're going to be finding about that on Friday during the Guild Chat show. Friday Guild Chat show is also going to be myself and the Lightbringers. Gonna have 3 other people from the Guild Wars 2 community watching with me, and we're gonna react to the things. So I'm pretty damn excited, in all honesty. This is gonna be all the classes they're gonna play during the first beta, which is the August 17th to the 21st, 2021. Excited isn't even the word I would say that I have for this right now. It's just amazing how close it is, and I'm excited to play a Necromancer with a pistol. Okay, so let's have a look. What is going on here? It's interesting that there was that across the eyes as well. Look here. I'm just wondering, is that an outfit? I think that's a part of an outfit, actually, to be honest. I can't remember. But generally, like, there you go. So some necromancers have always been separated from corruption by a thin edge. I'm going to go through it. Absorbing life energy to fuel their magic. Okay. Life force, obviously, we know that. Obviously, literally life as well, to give them like leeching life and whatnot. But Harbinger's methods are more volatile. And did you see that? Did you see the elixir? This is why I'm an engineer, people, as well. engineer main. Look at the little bottle as well. I love that they still have that, like, as well, because like eventually you can just about see the bottle being thrown away. A bit littering a bit. It's okay, but it's a necromancer, you know. They don't care about the littering. They're just death and destruction is their thing, you know. Obviously, it's going to be exciting to see what the elixirs are. For necro elixirs, obviously for engineer, are a utility. So that is going to be a utility which they use where you can get boons. For engineer specifically, there's also the throne elixirs as well. So that's going to be interesting how they manage the throne elixirs, you know, because what is that going to mean? Are they going to throw the elixirs? And they can't. They can't throw the elixirs because they've not got talk about skills. Does that mean the shroud becomes something where you can use elixirs as well? Probably not. As you can see, the shroud ability right here is a lot about jumping in and doing this kind of melee damage as well. It looks like it's it's fist weapons effectively. I mean, hey ho, I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. Let's go back and have a quick look, as we are just going to repeat the trailer. Like I said, this is just a video I'm popping out just as I'm having all these thoughts. They could be wrong, they could be stupid, they could be ridiculous thoughts. Nothing stupid, it's just speculation. But I'm liking all the effects as well. That is really, really nice. So this shroud looks like it has some kind of rampage. Look at that. That's the rampage free ability, the warrior, and also has on their elite, and also engineer has on their elixir X throw. Oh, sorry, usage, sorry. So let's have a look again. It's that charge. Boom. That's the exact same animation, just with green mist around them. There's elixir as well. So we know one shroud ability is going to be a charge, okay? But it looks like that elixir could actually fuel the shroud as well. And then this looks like it's one of the abilities, or is this the formation of the shroud? I'm not too sure. So these skilled alchemists have developed elixirs to inflict blight on themselves, or is this the blight, or is this the shroud?
Have developed elixirs to inflict blight on themselves, converting their own pain into power.
So that isn't even necessarily the shroud right there. So what I said before, not necessarily true. So that elixir could be transforming yourself and giving yourself some kind of power transform whilst it is active. So that's what those elixirs could be. And they're kind of talking about themselves as like an alchemist, right? Which is, by the way, I actually said that name during the Lightbringers, and actually said elixirs as well. When we first saw that image, I was like, elixirs, and I said something about alchemist, I can't remember, or apothecary or something like that. But yeah,
in Harbinger
pretty
Shroud,
excited.
They gain devastating abilities while suffering.
But then that's they say Harbinger Shroud, and this looks like the same thing specifically, and that looks like an ability from the Mesmer, obviously Gravity Well, when they pick them up and then slam them down on the ground. So it looks like that's what that could be, because the actual little kind of claws out of the ground you can see there, they kind of, I'm pointing at the screen, they're kind of hovering out, which identifies what it might be doing. But also there is something there on the side. There's like a little, watch this again. You can see the feet on the hook there it is. It's right here where you can see my mouse. There's actually, so these abilities actually show you what they do specifically. So this looks like a pickup or just like a spike in the air, and maybe it throws you back down or just pulls you back down, who knows. But that looks like a CC ability, so we know at least if that charge potentially is part of the shroud ability. We know there's that charge, and we also know there's that kind of pull up and maybe put down ability as well.
A harbinger makes no clean.
And then we've got the pistol. Beautiful. They've got the dagger offhand, which apparently is the best. I think that's dagger 5 as well, is like 900 range, I'm pretty sure. So good paired weapon, mid to long range kind of. 900 is still quite long range actually. Noxious corrosive bullets. So that's going to be poison, torment potentially, maybe some bleed, but that's going to be high damage, high condition damage. So this is feels very condition oriented, the pistol specifically.
A harbinger makes no clean kills.
Especially with the dagger offhand, because I believe that's bleeding as far as I remember.
Corrosive bullets.
Love it. I think this is just a normal piece of armor that's in the game, as far as I can remember. Everything else there is as well. You can see the blue kind of tint on the eyes and everything else as well. So let's keep looking at that. Let me just check the dagger offhand for Necro. Dagger offhand Necro Guild Wars 2. Just double check exactly what that was again for that. And again, if there is any fun times in terms of noise going on here, I'm sorry about that. I've got loads of work going on. It's really, really fun time for me here in the apartment. Obviously, as well, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe this video. Would massively appreciate it. Or subscribe to the channel, you know? I mean, why not? Sounds like a good thing to do. But yeah, so Necromancer, Dagger, 4th skill. Why can't I find this? Well, we know what the main skill is. There we go, definitely Swarm. So unleash an insect swarm to blind and transfer conditions to your enemies. And then the 5th skill is enfeebling blood, so inflict weakness and bleeding on your foes. So this combination is going to be like, there's the dagger, and obviously the pistol is main hand as well, so we know it's got 3 skills. It's not an offhand weapon, which it could have been. It could have been an offhand weapon. Like, they could have swapped it around. I know they're obviously in the picture and whatnot, it is looking like it's in the main hand, but then they probably wouldn't have swapped that around, I guess. But you never know. Sometimes it's not always clear. They did say they're breaking their own rules, so maybe they changed the pistol from one hand to the other. I don't know. At the last second, who knows? I am loving this look as well, and we know this now is the elixir here in this kind of, I don't know, whatever that is, that shape there. But it looks like kind of it almost looks like an eye as well, doesn't it? Inside this elixir kind of bottle. But it looks like it gives you, so the eye kind of maybe symbolizes a pathway or a vision into another form, if you will, as well, which kind of makes some sense. And if you think about how this is shaped here, it looks like kind of an eye, maybe just flipped up like 90 degrees as well. If you have a look at it, I can't spin it around right now, but maybe I'll try and do that in the future.
Some necromancers
but yeah,
have always been
that's pretty much the what we have so far. We're going to find out more on Friday. What do you think? What do you expect from this? How is it different from the Necro right now? Also, how is it that this is called Harbinger and there isn't a trait in the Scourge line, which is basically it's changing one of your Shroud abilities to Harbinger Shroud as well, which is quite interesting. So it changes Desert Shroud into Harbinger Shroud. That trait is in the middle line. It's called Herald of Sorrow, and it's at the bottom. It says Desert Shroud becomes Harbinger Shroud. So Desert Shroud, just to tell you, is a shroud gaining a powerful barrier and pulsing necrotic energy around your sand shades. Okay. What's the difference then? Life force cost is 4,600, does damage, barrier, torment, number of targets free, pulses 7 times, up for 6 seconds as well. Let's have a look at what that is for Harbinger Shroud. It gives life force, it does torment as well. Does it do as much torment? No. Harbinger Shroud is very much about everything in one go. It's bursty rather than pulsing. Okay, so that's kind of what that is. So Harbinger Shroud enters the final shroud, gaining a powerful barrier and priming the shroud for a powerful detonation that damages enemies and bolsters allies. That is more in the raiding as well, and also boons converted to conditions is going to be 2 as well. You don't get that in Desert Shroud, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of what Harbinger is kind of about there as well. Boons converted to conditions. So the shroud that they have already in the game, called Harbinger Shroud, which is what it turns to for in the Scourge trait line, is about a bursty damage, a bursty potentially, or priming something ready to explode, but then with also some boon corruption, as well as more damage if obviously they're stationary, because now torment changed, and it costs less life force as well. which is interesting. It does a little bit less barrier, I believe. Oh no, it does about the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same barrier actually. So there's some information there. So you can even look at just that trait to get a little bit of information about what they feel like that might be. And also, are they going to change the name of Harbinger Shrouds? As soon as this came out, I was like, there's a trait, isn't there? I'm pretty sure. So I went and checked and I was right. And then I was on Twitter and I was having a look, and then Mighty Teapot mentioned it as well. I was like, okay, good. I'm definitely right about that. That's cool. So I'm going to make a video. But yeah, so what do you reckon, people? Like, comment, subscribe, get involved. Tell me what you're thinking and you're feeling. Very, very random, off the cusp thoughts. I'm excited for pistol. There's 3 abilities. There's going to be a main damage ability. There's going to be an ability which, you know, fires those projectiles which we've seen in the trailer, when we can see in a moment as well. And there's going to be another ability. What are these pistol abilities going to be? What are the elixirs going to do? Here's the character taking an elixir, then it looks like it powers up their shroud or turns them into something else. And they jump in and they're performing melee abilities, almost like kind of punching out these shroud abilities, like, well, their energy or their blight, which they're inflicted with, which is a kind of new term. I'm gonna go now. Here you go. There's my thoughts initially. You enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and have a fantastic beta as well if I don't see you before. 17th of August. Are we playing? Will you? Come watch me, twitch.tv/Jebro. And if you want to buy the End of Dragons expansion, you can pre-purchase now. Get all the bits and bobs and support the channel. See you soon. Thanks so much for watching and take care.